If you have witnessed the enormous rise of AI systems, particularly ChatGPT, in the last few months and wondered how this will shape our future, do the AI systems possess the capacity to override our systems and take control over us? Were AI systems always this good, or were there some mishaps and controversies along the way? Or maybe why, almost as a default, being a Windows user, we always prefer Google Chrome and Google over Microsoft Edge and Microsoft Bing as a browser and our search engine, and if this pattern will ever change. In this video, I will try to address these questions by taking a deep dive into the world of conversational AI and comparing two of the biggest players in the game, Microsoft with ChatGPT and Google with Bard, and the recent big shakeup in the search domain with Microsoft's announcement to use ChatGPT in the search engine Bing, which has pushed Google out of its comfort zone in making very costly mistakes to save its most profitable and largest source of revenue of about $170 billion, that is advertisements. We will look at the business model of Google and Microsoft in detail, the previous failed attempts of AI from Microsoft and Meta, the largest controversy surrounding Google's AI, that it has become sentient and reacts like a living being, overview of ethical guidelines for AI to ensure that AI do not override us, the cost of running ChatGPT, the investment from Microsoft into OpenAI to secure their future, the demo of Microsoft Copilot, that is Microsoft Edge and Bing coupled with ChatGPT, and how Google is reacting to these new developments. ChatGPT has taken the AI world by storm with its advanced natural language processing capabilities and powerful language model, and it's no surprise that it has quickly become one of the most popular conversational AI platforms on the market. ChatGPT has broken records and will be the fastest ever consumer internet app to reach 100 million user mark, which it has achieved in 2 months, and for a context, the second fastest was TikTok in 9 months. Due to this meteoric rise, Google, despite being one of the biggest tech companies in the world, they are reportedly feeling the heat from ChatGPT's rapid success and are now scrambling to catch up, and they have triggered their code red to cope up with this new market dynamic. Tay was a chatbot developed by Microsoft that was designed to interact with other users on Twitter. It was released in March 2016 with the goal of learning from and engaging with the users in a playful conversational manner. The idea behind the more you talk, the smarter it gets. However, they soon realized a hard lesson that Twitter isn't the right platform to test it and that it was way too early to bring it to public. Within 16 hours, Microsoft had to stop the experiment as things got out of control, for which they issued an official apology. This incident served as a cautionary tale for all companies about the challenges of developing AI systems that are capable of interacting with humans and the importance of ensuring, updating, and implementing the AI ethic codes so that these systems are robust, safe, trustworthy, ethical, and free from harmful biases. The contents of the AI ethic codes can vary depending on the company, but to give you an idea, here is a summary of the framework for AI ethic guidelines published by European Union. Maintaining human control over AI system and ensuring that they do not take any autonomous action that harm individuals or a society. Ensuring that AI systems are fair, transparent, and do not perpetuate or amplify existing biases. Protecting the privacy and security of individuals and their data. Making sure that AI systems are transparent and interpretable so that their decisions can be understood and audited. Defining the responsibilities of AI developers, operators, and stakeholders, and ensuring that they are held accountable for the impact of AI systems that they develop and deploy. Last year in July 2022, Google AI made a lot of headlines when one of their senior engineers, Blake Lemoine, who signed up to test their AI, decided to go public with a claim that Google AI is sentient by leaking his conversation with the AI. Sentience is the capacity to experience subjective conscious awareness and is generally considered to be a characteristic of living beings. It is a long script, but for this video I have selected a very small portion to give you an idea that if you look it at the first time and you're not aware that it is an AI, you most certainly will think that it is a conversation between two humans showing emotions, including empathy and frustration. As a response, Google claimed that the AI being sentient claims are not correct. Finally, 2 weeks before ChatGPT's launch at the end of November 2022, Meta launched their own AI system called Galactica. It was designed to assist scientists, but it was taken down because it could not tell fact from fiction. At one time, it was talking about the history of bears in space, and when asked who runs Silicon Valley, Galactica replied Steve Jobs. And hence, just 3 days after it was introduced, it was taken down. Finally, with ChatGPT, although it is quite clever in stopping the discussions that could potentially become racist or sexist or exhibit any other bias, there is a lot of discussions that it is not 100% transparent and is showing a lot of bias. I hope and expect that Microsoft works on this issue so that we have access to a lot of information in the world without a lot of biases. To understand why Google suddenly feels rightly concerned, we have to understand how both these companies operate, and here's a look at both of their business models. Google is the 14th largest company when it comes to revenue, and last year it made about $283 billion, and it nearly generates 80% of revenues from advertisement, out of which 58% is the advertisement on its own products, 12% on its partner networks, and 10% on YouTube advertisements. Whereas Microsoft, the 28th largest company on revenue, made $204 billion last year, has a much more broader portfolio including cloud services, office products, Windows, gaming, LinkedIn, and search only makes up about 6% of its revenue. It is quite understandable as nearly 92% of the web search worldwide are done on Google and only 3% on Bing. Hence, advertisement is extremely important to Google, and without it, it is basically a cycle without wheels. Now, after getting a glimpse of business model of both these giants, let's take a deep dive into Microsoft plans and Google's current position. In 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion in OpenAI so that they can build their AI system within Microsoft Azure, and that Microsoft will become their exclusive cloud partner. Over time, till the end of 2022, Microsoft invested further $2 billion, and it is understandable because in order to keep the ChatGPT running, the amount of computational resources required to generate responses, the cost of the hardware used to run the model, without asking any fee from users, they required a lot of initial investments. Although OpenAI did not disclose how much it cost to run ChatGPT, Tom Goldstein, an associate professor within the University of Maryland, estimated the cost of running the highly advanced chatbot at $100,000 a day or $3 million a month. That sum is even after Goldstein factored lower expenses thanks to its long-term arrangement with partner Microsoft for Azure cloud computing service. Now ChatGPT is offering subscription to users in case they want faster response time and round-the-clock availability. As it happens, sometimes the servers are overloaded and the standard users cannot log in due to traffic. Microsoft's investment turned out to be quite fruitful as the current valuation of ChatGPT is around $30 billion, and at the end of January 2023, Microsoft announced that it is set to invest another $10 billion into OpenAI, and with this, Microsoft will reportedly get a 75% share of OpenAI profits until it makes back the money on its investment, after which company would assume 49% stake in OpenAI. During the recent OpenAI pitch to investors, it expects a $200 million revenue in 2023 and $1 billion by 2024. On 7th Feb 2023, Microsoft took it one step further and confidently announced that they are coming for Google's business.
The race starts today. The most profitable, large software business is search. So I look at this and say, look, I just have to earn one user at a time, an incremental GM. I've never, ever felt this liberated in terms of opportunity in the days ahead.
By announcing that their browser Edge and their search engine Bing are now going to use ChatGPT. As for Microsoft, there are 10 billion search queries a day, and nearly half of them go unanswered. Search has remained fundamentally the same as 20 years ago. It works well for factual queries, but stumbles when asked to make recommendations. This is the area which Microsoft wants to exploit with ChatGPT. Let's look at the ways that Microsoft is offering a better search engine than Google. With their new approach to searching, they expect better search results, as along with the familiar search experience, there will be a new sidebar that shows more comprehensive answers in case you require them. Bing reviews results from across the web to find and summarize the answer that you are looking for. For example, you can get detailed instructions for how to substitute eggs for another ingredient in a cake you are baking right in that moment without scrolling through multiple results. For more complex searches such as planning a detailed trip or researching what TV to buy or asking if a piece of furniture from IKEA will fit your car, Bing offers new interactive chat. The chat experience empowers you to refine search until you get the complete answer that you're looking for by asking for more details, clarity, and ideas, with links available so that you can immediately act on your decisions. It can help you write an email, create a guide for a dream vacation with links to book your travel and accommodations, or prepare you for a job interview. The new Bing also cites its sources so that you are able to see links to the web content it references. The new Edge browser comes with two new functionalities, Chat and Compose. With the Edge sidebar, you can ask for a summary of a lengthy web page or document to get the key takeaways. and then use the chat function to ask further questions such as a comparison to a competing company, while Compose acts as a writing assistant, helping to generate text from emails to social media posts based on a few starting prompts, for example, a LinkedIn post or any email of your planned trip, and you can also update the tone, the format, and the length of the post. As discussed earlier, Google heavily depends on its advertisements revenues and is under a lot of pressure to respond. The day after Microsoft's event, Google hosted its own event. The main purpose of the event was to highlight new features in Google Maps and Google Search, but it briefly discussed their new AI, Google Bard. Google did not share a lot of details about Bard. Out of 38 minutes event, only 7 were dedicated for Google Bard as compared to Microsoft 55 minutes, which was solely dedicated to it. This event turned out to be a disaster, with Google Bard providing a wrong answer to a question about James Webb Telescope in their official launch. It wrongly claims that the James Webb Space Telescope took the first ever picture of an exoplanet, but that wasn't the first ever picture of an exoplanet, a milestone that occurred in 2004 actually. Bard's inaccuracies made Google look uncharacteristically unprepared and dropped the Alphabet stock shares down by more than 9%. Considering the seriousness of the situation, and rightly so, Google is worried because if they lose the advertisement revenue, it will severely hurt them. Considering we heard the rumors of their extraordinary AI being sentient, to what extent it was true, we are not sure, but I believe Google Bard will be a competitive product in the market to Microsoft Copilot, that is search engine and browser integrated with ChatGPT. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to my channel as it will help me make better content. Take care and see you again.